Hello, folks. Good morning to each one of you. I'm sure you're all doing very, very well and probably looking forward to a great week ahead after a relaxed weekend. A very, very important discussion. As I keep saying, this channel is about life and careers. We call it Simple Talk on Life and Careers. So, if that's something which will interest your interest and you'll be willing to spend time on it, I'd probably like you to subscribe to this channel. Very, very quickly, moving ahead, artificial intelligence, AI, we all thought it was the very biggest threat for our jobs. We all thought even the hiring process is getting completely automated, and companies in India and all over the world are primarily looking at artificial intelligence and tools in AI to hire people. Well, looks to be, yes, they probably are using tools of artificial intelligence, but if you are only looking at facts, hard facts in terms of in the last year or so, as to how companies in India have predominantly hired, it has now come to light that it is through referral networks. Somewhere in this channel early on, maybe a few months back, I did put across a short video on how hiring has changed, the nature of hiring has changed, and how, in fact, conventional applications through job portals and LinkedIn are probably no more rewarding methods for a candidate. I think if you, just to reiterate, if you probably apply on Naukri and LinkedIn and just sit back and relax thinking that you're going to get an interview call, probably you're in for a big disappointment. And the latest trends from India clearly indicate, when I say latest trends from India, these are hard facts. They are facts that have been published in the newspapers and magazines in the past few days. If you probably just Google for jobs in India, or probably job-related news in India, you yourself will see these trends. Predominantly top companies across sectors, be it IT, manufacturing, or other sectors, have now confessed, or probably HR heads of these organizations have confessed, that their dependence on artificial intelligence to get candidates to their jobs, to the jobs, is very, very less. I mean, just to indicate, for example, I recollect reading somewhere that Zomato, which is a new age food delivery company, the HR head of Zomato has said that you cannot find jobs in Zomato. Zomato has to find you. Meaning Zomato has to reach you, or reach you through a referral network, which means referral networks are going to be the singular method of hiring. They, of course, also published statistics for the past year. In the past year, a weighted average 25% of Indian organizations have used referral networks to, not 25% of Indian organizations, 25% of the candidates for various roles in any organization, beginning from entry level to the topmost level of the organization, have been hired through referral networks. This is an average across organizations, across sectors, but you specifically look at organizations. In some organizations, which are very top branded organizations, most sought after employers, if you can say so, in these kind of organizations, the referral networks, the employee hiring through referral network, have been as high as 30 to 50%. Believe me, half the candidates are getting hired through a referral network. So the fact is, unless otherwise you try and reach out to an organization, to different roles through a referral, through someone who is working in that organization, there is very, very less hope that you will get hired in any organization. And it is a very, very important message which we all need to bear in mind. I'm sure a lot of us are there out in the job market. A lot of us are hunting for jobs, and it is very, very pertinent to bear that the conventional method of applications, sending applications, going through HR consultants, I think that is past. That is very, very clear now. I, in fact, had probably spoken about it even about 3-4 months back in another podcast of mine. But today there is clear evidence, the clear data to prove that most organizations in India are using the referral route to hire people, and this is not restricted to some organizations. These organizations fall on the entire spectrum of the industry. So a very, very, very important message here. It is not my opinion. These are facts, and these facts very, very clearly indicate that unless otherwise you can reach an organization, find out positions which are open and which are suitable to you through someone whom you know who is working in that organization. Believe me, the opportunity, the degree of confidence which you have in any other hiring method is probably I think even less than zero. I might be blunt. So you could ask me the next question. Then what about all the open positions which are published in Naukri? What about any organization? If I look at my prospective employer and search Google for jobs in those organizations, I can see hazard listings across platforms. I can see job listings in Naukri. I can see listings in Monster. I can see listings in JobStreet. I can see a whole lot of listings in LinkedIn. So what about that, you may ask? The point is, I've always emphasized the HR, in many cases, the recruitment team or talent acquisition team in this organization also acts in isolation. They are not a part of the holistic canvas. They are not really in terms of, they are not really glued into how the organizations is hiring. They probably, for example, if I have to say that if there are 10 open positions in any functional area, I think 3 or 4 open positions, the hiring manager, the functional head is already meeting people, and there is no reason for him to tell HR about it unless otherwise he's going to like a candidate. I think so. He's got one set of candidates in the pipeline, and without that knowledge, HR is just posting those jobs on LinkedIn or Naukri just to build a database. That is a fact of the case. And what happens is a lot of us just click that button on Naukri and LinkedIn and stay very, very happy saying that, okay, we will get a call. And when I speak to a lot of candidates do ask me, I'm not getting an interview call. I'm not being called for a job. I've sent in so many applications through LinkedIn and Naukri, and I'm perfectly suitable for the kind of jobs which they have posted. The job description and me are very, very ideal fits, they tell me. The point is, the hiring methods are very, very different. They are hiring through some other method, and it is now very, very clear that they are using the referral networks to hire. The numerous benefits in terms of why they should hire through a referral network. Number one, when an employee who is working in an organization refers a candidate, number one, the employee knows very well about the culture of organization. So the employee in his mind knows that who is going to be suitable for that particular role. He is not going to refer all and sundry. Yeah, there might be 4 of his friends who might say, okay, why don't you refer me? But in his own mind, he is very, very clear that in these 4 of my friends, I see him being more suitable in terms of the culture of the organization, in terms of the talent requirements of the organization, in terms of the working pressure or working style of the organization. So in that sense, the cultural fit is largely taken care of, and the biggest challenge in terms of attrition in today's India or today's corporate world is cultural fit. Believe me. So if that is being taken care of, I think 50% of the hiring fit is there. That is what organizations feel. And many HR heads who have on record spoken in these news stories in the past few days have confessed that yes, cultural fit is a huge advantage. We really need not worry about cultural fit. We not worry that whether a candidate will fit a role or not. If we probably go through a Naukri or a LinkedIn, we need to really take cognizance. We need to have 1 or 2 rounds of discussions just to understand whether it will be a culture fit. But if you are going through an employee referral, I think for us it is very, very sure that he is going to be a 90 or 80% cultural fit, number one. Number 2, the employee loyalty to the organization's brand get hugely built because of that. There are handsome rewards for employees who refer good employee, who bring in their friends through employee referral programs. And when these referees get hired, I think these employees are handsomely rewarded. In some cases, it is as high as a recruitment company commission. For example, if a recruitment company is paid about 8.33% of the annual compensation, an employee who is referring a candidate almost gets the same amount of money as his reward, and that is good amount of money. So there is a lure there. And 3, the word of mouth is the strongest brand building from a HR point of view or a talent acquisition point of view of any organization. And if one whole bunch of employees become brand ambassadors for this organization and are also a part of the hiring team of the organization, then that organization is going to be perceived very well in the market. So these are some of the advantages why they're using. Of course, the last advantages being that the hiring costs are really the lowest when they go through the referral route. They need not pay a recruitment agency. They need not spend on a newspaper advertisement. They need not, in fact, waste time on building a recruitment pipeline. They need not interview 20-30 candidates for one role, maybe just 2-3 candidates, and they can hire for any role. Believe me, I am aware of an automotive company in Pune where a CEO or a CXO has been hired through an employee referral program. So employee referrals are not necessarily restricted to entry level. Don't be under the mistake or notion. Employee referral programs are used to hire roles across the hierarchy, right from the entry level to the CEO of the organization. So that is the crux of this message, a very, very important factual message which we need to imbibe. In case you need to get hired, in case you want to get hired, I think catch hold of your friend who's working in your prospective employer and go through him. That is the only hope. If you probably are trying any other method, maybe you're just hitting your head against a wall. Yeah, it's maybe a very, very harsh analogy, but believe me, you will be wasting a lot of time in not going through an employee referral route. I just wanted to communicate this to you. Of course, I've spoken about this many times earlier, but wanted to reiterate the fact that now there is conclusive evidence, anecdotal evidence which has emerged both in terms of the printed media and social media, that 30 to 50% of all roles across the hierarchy, across the spectrum of the entire industry is going to be filled by employee referrals. That is a fact. AI tools are being used to maybe pass resumes for other background verifications and checks like that. AI tools can be used for whatever. The bottom line is most HR heads in the country or most talent acquisition heads in the country very, very clearly have said that we will not use AI for hiring process. We will use the human interference to get the best of candidates in our organizations. We will only use AI to facilitate, artificial intelligence to facilitate, and the human factor involved to get the best of candidates. That is a mantra today, and that will probably be the mantra in the next few years to come. In case there's a change in trend, obviously I'll be the first to tell you. But for now, the trend is don't depend on any other method of hiring. Don't blindly sit on LinkedIn or Naukri and things like that and waste your time. Ask your friends and prospective employer organizations if there are roles appropriate to you. Keep scouring the market for that. Spend a lot of quality time on LinkedIn interacting with probably people who can put you on to their employers for roles which you may suit. That is the only way. All the very best to you. I wanted to communicate this very, very important factual message to you. I am sure it's useful to you. Consider liking this video and probably share it with your friends who might find it very, very interesting. Thanks a lot. I'll see you soon in another video. As I said earlier in the video, probably I'll be happy if you subscribe to this channel. Thank you. Have a wonderful time ahead.